Hi, I'm Pamela Hunter, and I'm here to share messages from Gary Young on and off the mat today with you. I'm out on my porch swing because I felt like speaking about this topic needed to be as nature-esque as I could get. And I do my yoga practice and a lot of my meditation time right here on my front porch. I'm Pamela Hunter, and I've been using Young Living essential oils since 2003, doing the business of Young Living since 2009. I'm a diamond leader, and I am so honored to have the special moments I shared with Gary Young and the lessons and the messages that he taught me. And if you follow me on social media, you saw some of my sharings in the last few months. If you missed it, you can find them on my website in my journal. And I want to just venture back to the first time I met him. I was at Convention 2005, my first one. And I journeyed from the very back of the audience where I was with my mom to the very front. I told my mom I'll be right back. And I walked up there where Mary and Gary and the two little boys were standing. And I walked up to Gary, I got his attention, and I held out my hands. And he put his hands on mine. And you can see the rest of that story on the journal. But it was a beautiful moment of connection because I wanted to know that he was real. He was real. Fast forward to 2012. After traveling all over from Ecuador multiple times to a lot of the award trips back in that day to Egypt and Jordan, which was an amazing 2-week special journey with Gary, to his house for filming the One Gift movie. I was the frankincense testimonial in that movie. To spending that quality time with him, really getting to know him, yet still feeling in some way that he was a piece of china on a china cabinet. In my, like touchable, but untouchable. And I share this with you because him and I were conversing back and forth. Back then I ran a lot of bigger events for the time. Now we do huge events, but back then they were large events. And he wanted to come and be with us at one of our events. And so we were going back and forth via email. And we lost touch and the plans got dropped, I thought. But when I showed up at Ecuador and I was at the Young Living Academy, the school, and he showed up, he walked right up to me and he held out his hands. And I put my hands on his this time. And he remembered. And he said, "We've lost touch. Am I going to an event with you this next week from here?" And I, scurried and said, "Oh my goodness, I didn't hear back." And while I was saying this, I had lost my voice. I had this sketchy voice that I could barely talk. And he said, "You lost your voice for a reason. You didn't use your voice with me." And I told him, "I kind of feel like you're a piece of china in the china cabinet. Like, I know we have this connection and I'm one of your distributors, but I don't know how far to go." And he said, "You are special. All my distributors are special. You always have a voice with me. Please use your voice. Would you like me to come to your event?" I'm shaking, holding my hands there, and he grabs them. And I said, "Yes, please come to my event." And it was my best friend and builder's event, really, that I was going to support her. And so he shows up. He changes his plans. It was crazy to get that planned. but he's a man of his word. And he came and he went to that event. And he taught me that whole experience while I was in Ecuador in 2012. I think it was gold or platinum retreat I was on. He taught me to use my voice. He taught me to own it and voice it. He taught me that what was written was the word. He taught me that if I owned it and I voiced it and I wrote it, then I could share it. And when I shared it and we shared him at the Maha Buddha Yoga Festival, wow, what an experience having him be there. And when we shared him, talking about the Peace Caravan, getting as many people to listen to him about all the different gifts the oils bring us, I realized how wonderful it felt to live and to feel really alive, to feel all the feelings, all the emotion, to process everything that you desire, to process your work, to process where you are on the journey, to really embrace the support of this company called Young Living Essential Oils. And then to feel the love of that entire experience, of being with this icon, this legacy, the man that created the modern day movement of essential oils, was real, more than real. He was a man that walked the earth looking for where he could make a difference, empowering us as messengers to do the same. Not looking at the biggest and grandest place that he could be put, like on social media or the Oprah show, or I'm sure he could have gotten there if he wanted to. That wasn't his plan. He came to small events, like him showing up again at the Balance Retreat, our first one, last year. Him showing up at that event for 75 people. Him showing up in Ecuador. Him showing up all over the world for people in need. And he showed up for me over and over. And in my journey, some of the messages that I want to say to you all is that Gary didn't come with his message forcefully. He came with his message from his heart, and he came with his message with grace and ease. So there was a time in my life that I was extremely challenged. Unfortunately, I got some energetic hitchhikers from that trip in Egypt and Jordan, as much as I worked to protect myself. I came home and I went through some major challenges. Doesn't matter what the challenges were. What matters is I reached for help and he was there. Not to tell me what to do, but to educate me on what we have in our midst. He voiced what he knew. And what he knew was the power of essential oils, the power of our supplements, the power of our own organs, the power of the liver, and the power of how our organs work. He voiced the power of our supplements and the power of our Ningxia Red and Nitro. But he never looked at me and said, do this. He educated me and empowered me to find the answers. So if you're looking for someone to tell you what to do, look within you. Because if you're pointing the finger at someone saying, I want you to tell me what to do, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you that say, you figure it out. I'm giving you the entry point. I'm opening the path. I'm awakening this awareness for you. Now it's up to you to do something with it. Those are the messages I got off the mat. And I wrote a book. I wrote a book about it before the shift, I would say. And I learned those steps. I looked at what I felt after experiencing the feelings kit over and over and over. And I looked at what I felt. And those steps kept coming back to me. And when I was on a private retreat, or silent retreat, I should say, the steps kept coming. And I finally wrote them down. You heard me say them earlier. You gotta own it, voice it, write it, share it, live it, and you gotta love it. We awaken awareness and we open paths. We learn from each other and we come into community to feel. Because in our world, it's really okay to feel. That's what the hands on the hands were. That invitation to belong, that invitation to feel, that invitation to love. So with those little stories, with those little messages, we're going to practice on the mat. We're going to practice the feelings kit. At the Mahabuddha Yoga Festival that Gary went to with me and showed up for Stacy Van and I, him and I taught this together. You'll see a little clip of it right after this, before we start the practice. So hang with me. Practice and enjoy. Enjoy the outside noises. As one of my teachers would say, this too I must include. No, my lighting's not perfect. I'm not in a sound room. I'm right here with you in real life because I'm real. I'm blessed to be a part of such a beautiful community, a beautiful company, and I'm blessed to have the relationship that I have with Gary Young so that I can share it with the world and keep the legacy going. Here we go. Enjoy the rest of the video.
All the way back down to child's pose. Slide through mini cobra. Very slow, feeling the entire body, mind-body connection, and spirit. Exhale, downward dog. My definition of yoga is transforming the body and the mind to meet the soul. Because when we release the thoughts, child's pose, knees apart, toes together, we start to release the monkey in our mind, the stories. When you get out of the way of the story and let the story go, then you can feel what is real. You gotta let go of the story. Right? We all are human, we have stories. Inhale all the way up one more time on the tops of those knees. Honor and bless your entire being. Exhale, child's pose. Slide through mini cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale and exhale, child's pose. Just coming up on your knees, and if it's difficult for you to be on your knees, you can sit crisscross as they come through with harmony oil. And harmony oil is going to come through in harmony.
Hi, it's time to practice using the Feelings Kit. We're going to start with the oil of valor. We're going to let 3 to 6 straps drop in to our hand. The palm of the left hand is always nice. Rub our hands together 3 times clockwise. Then take it to the bottom of the feet and rub that beautiful oil, that beautiful blue oil in. And take a scent tent. Hopefully your feet are clean. And take it in through the olfactory to the limbic brain, where our emotions and memory are stored. Valor gives us courage and confidence. It opens up the gateway to our brain to take in the rest of these oils through the entire practice and the entire kit. Enjoy the feeling of valor. Crisscross your legs in Sukhasana, seated pose here. Then you may want to come a little wider to start to hip circle. So we're coming around, deep hip circles all the way back and all the way forward. Inhaling back, exhaling around. Now I may do a shortened version. I may have go longer when I'm practicing without a video. Inhaling back and exhaling forward, and then go the other direction. So you can practice with me or watch it and do your own practice. Oh, nice. We're just allowing that valor to come in, right? So come into Dandasana, or staff pose here, and point your toes and flex. Inhale, point, exhale, flex. Inhale, point, exhale, flex. Inhale, point, exhale, flex. Inhale, point, exhale, flex. Keep going. We're on my front porch, so this is a very real scenario where I practice. So you'll hear the outside noises. Nice. Roll the ankles. Some of you may go the same direction. Some of us go opposite directions, whatever works for you. Nice. And then lean back just a little bit. Take your feet a little bit wider apart. And windshield wiper quickly. Getting some movement up the legs and into the hip sockets. Nice. Feel where the oil is traveling. As you know, the oils have their own intelligence. And they move through the body quickly. They're already in our skin. And they're moving into the bloodstream within 20 minutes. So allowing the movement to add to the frequency that we feel with the oils. Nice. Take the legs into butterfly, some call it cobblers, or Baddha Konasana. Lengthening. Your soles of your feet are together. Bring your toes away, and I have my 2 fingers around that front toe. I'm going to inhale up and exhale down. Inhaling, exhaling, moving that energy from the hips up the body. Allowing that aroma of valor to come in. Inhale up. You can do that as long as you desire. And then take the legs back up and out and allow the hips to come in and out again. Just opening up all these channels. I like to do a lot of preparation for my joints, areas of the body that may hold energy. Let them move. Nice. Hold one side down. Flex that foot. Feel it from the hip to the knee ankle into the sole of the feet. And then back up from the sole to the ankle, to the knee, to the hip, to the navel, to the chin, to the third eye, to the crown. Other side. Feel that. Lengthen from the hip to the knee, to the ankle, to the sole. From the sole to the ankle, to the knee, to the hip, to the navel, to the heart, to the chin, to the third eye, to the crown. Beautiful. Come crisscross again. Sit back up on that pallet of a blanket or pillow. Bring your hands in front or to the knees and begin to spine flex, lifting up and rounding down. Inhale up, exhale round. Inhale, so your head is neutral and you're moving your spine, moving that cerebral spinal fluid and the oil up the whole body. Make sure you breathe. Inhale, exhale. And this reminds me of the memory riding a camel in the middle of the desert, dressed like a man in the sunshine for 8 hours filming the movie One Gift. I love spine flexing because my teachers always taught me we're as young as our spine feels. Inhale up. Exhale. Nice. I'm going to shake out my wrists and take my arms down to the sides and take my arms up and then down, touching the back of the wrist. Inhale up, exhale down. Feeling the valor move all the way through the body, into the brain. It's moving up now. Now some may say it's already there. It's there right when you put it on. Yes. But the movement through the body helps that frequency of all the cells in the body start to awaken and be ready for the journey we're going to be on. Inhale up. Inhale a little more. And exhale, let the arms just float down. I feel ready. So we're going to take Harmony essential oil and drop just a couple drops of Harmony. It's a powerful blend. Rub your hands together to activate that oil. Take it right around the navel and then swoop it from the seat all the way up to the crown. And do that 3 times, swooping it through that energy field as Harmony opens all of the energy centers. And then you know the scent tent. I love the smell of Harmony. Nice. Coming on to hands and knees. I'll go sideways here for you. Spreading your fingers wide. Taking the wrist right underneath your shoulders, the knee underneath your hips, and cat-cow. Inhale up and exhale round. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Allowing those energy centers, the space between the wheels within, to move, to lengthen, to open, to awaken, to find harmony. And then come back to neutral. Facing you again, come up on your knees. Our energy is forward and behind and side to side, so let's move it a little bit through the body. Take your left leg out. Your toes can be completely pointed away or forward towards you. Take the arms up with the inhale. And exhale, side bend over for that gate pose. Breathe here. You can go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, or stay where you feel from the knee to the hip, all the way through the armpit and out through the fingers. Inhale back up. Bring that leg in. Other side, taking that leg out. And once again, side bending to the other side. You may feel a little creaky here. In kids yoga, we call this creaky gait. And we go squeak. So maybe you feel squeaky and want to move in it. This is your practice. Do what feels good to you. That's why it's a practice. It changes every day. Our body is in a different place. Play with it for you. Then come forward with your arms and forward fold, but bring that navel in on the exhale, exhale, exhale. The seat comes back a little bit, touch back, and then inhale, 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 inhale. Arch the spine. And exhale, 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 exhale. Bringing that navel in. And then inhale, 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 arching the spine. I'm going to turn so you can see that from this angle. Exhale, 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 touch. Inhale, 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 arch. And then come back around with your hands to your midline, prayer to heart. Beautiful. From here, I like to move through the whole body. Some of my favorite ways to move are in low sun salutations. So I'll face this way so you can see. I'm in a child's pose, knees apart, toes together. I'm extending my hands, forehead down. I'm going to come all the way up on my knees and arch that spine. Exhale all the way through. Slide through mini cobra and lift up. Exhaling into this downward dog. Now our hands have a lot of oils on them. So if you need to grab the outside of that mat, go for it. And feel that downward dog. Come high onto your toes and then let the heels come back. Move in this. However you feel, inhale and exhale, come back down. You can do that 3 times. I'm going to move this way. This mat's a little stickier so I can stay in my downward dog. And I'm going to come into my child's pose. Inhale all the way up. Exhale all the way back down. Slide through mini cobra. And lift. Lower down. Exhale. Down into downward dog. Keep your legs wide. It'll be nice and open for your practice here. Inhale and exhale, child's pose. Feeling the harmony move through. One more. I'm going to not talk. Be with it. Child's pose. Come back to this tabletop for a moment. Come into a shorter down dog this way, coming up. And then walk your hands back to meet your feet. Be in a standing forward fold. Grab the outside of your elbows. Let the arms hang. Shake your head yes and no. Yes and no. Yes and no. Take your hands behind the hips, gentle lengthening downward with the hands as you come up with a flat back. Feel. The next oil is forgiveness. 2 drops in the palm of the hand. Rub your hands together. Again, navel and heart. Rub your hands together and take your sentent. And after you've taken in those breaths, come. Love and light breath. One hand on your heart, one hand on your navel. Now you can either stand or you can sit for this. Sitting on your knees may feel good. Standing may feel good. Whichever it feels for you to be able to come into a place of forgiving others and forgiving yourself. So this is where Gary's work was a pause to really feel and bring to the forefront the prayer of forgiveness. I forgive myself and I forgive others. I forgive myself and I forgive others. I am forgiven. I do forgive. I forgive. I believe that we find comfort through the heat of our palms. Bring that into your will and into your heart. I touch, I feel, I breathe, I stay, I forgive, I love, I am. Coming into present time. Present time, I like just one drop. So very powerful of an oil. Take your thumb, 3 circles, and take it to the bottom of the chin. Take it wherever your intuition guides you. I like it in my jaws here, from my ears, and then tap my chin. This is an oil that brings you into the present time and come into standing. And as Gary put it here in this order, present time, you cannot release the negative emotions unless you're in the present. If you're living in the past, it's difficult to let it all go. So come into the present was his teaching. So I like to take my hands out, palms up. Feel your feet right underneath your hips, and I can guarantee you that half of you that watch this video are gonna have your feet way out here thinking your hips are that wide. They're not. Bring them right underneath you so that you feel the feet. Feel that. Earth underneath you. Turn the palms down, keeping the inner elbows up, and bring your arms down to the sides. Feel a spring in your knees as you feel your feet to straighten your legs without locking your knees. Feel the navel to the heart. Feel the chin down and in so that the crown is straight up to the heavens. Close your eyes and look at your tip of your nose or up to your third eye. And feel present. We're not back bending, going in the past. Or future, excuse me. We're not back bending going into the future, and we're not forward folding going into the past. We're in the present. Notice that. Correction. Back bending is the future and forward folding is the past. So be present in standing Tadasana. BKS Iyengar called this the most challenging pose. Be here until you can come into your presence, your present moment. Feeling the big toe mound, the pinky toe mound, the inner heel, and the outer heel. Feeling stable, present, right here, right now, be here now. What comes up for you? What came up through that forgiveness? What came up through this present time? Stay as long as you need to. For the sake of this video, we're going to move forward and go into release. So at this point, we've had valor, we've had harmony, we've had forgiveness, and we're in present time. Now let's release. Allowing 3 drops to come into the palm of the hand. Rub your hands together 3 times. This time putting it on the liver. It's on the right side under your ribs. Rub it around front and back. Take your sentent. Enjoy all the noises that are surrounding me. This too I must include. This is life. Bring in the scent. And whatever has come up for you at this time that you need to release, now is your opportunity. We're going to widen our stance here. We're going to take our hands, clasp our fingers, take them up, and karate chop through, letting it go with a har. Inhale. Letting a breath come out. How many times? You tell me. You'll know when it's time just to stand and be. Maybe there's some things left. Maybe you want to do a standing twist. Bring your feet together. Sit back into a seat. Hands, thumbs to the sternum. Inhale and exhale. Take that elbow to the knee and twist. If this is too much, be here or here. There's lots of variations. Inhale, center, and exhale the other way. Inhale back. And feel yourself come back up and around. Now, if you're still feeling anything still stuck in there, let's go into lion's breath. Are you ready for this one? Taught kids yoga for so many years. I like to get animated here. So feel like you're that lion or lioness deep into those grasses in the African terrain, and you're there, and you're going to breathe in. And whatever's coming up for you, let it out. Breathe in and out. In and let it go. 2 more times. Take your time. Let it surface and then let it out to the universe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Ah, how's that feel? I'm going to turn this way so you can see it from this angle. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Nice. How does that feel to you? Feel the release going on? Now again, you can repeat all of those. You could go into a twist. If you have a bolster, if you want to release more in a restorative way, if you come to the balance yoga and wellness retreats with Ed Daly and I and all the others that attend, you're going to see a restorative version of this, Ed's version. So I'm coming onto my back and I could just let my legs fall open to one side. I've got them on a blanket here. You could use a bolster and you could release this way. You could have your hands on your heart, your hands out, whatever works. Stay there as long as you like. Bring your legs to the middle, move your blanket over, and then twist to the other way, having your legs supported by a bolster or a blanket. You could breathe here, letting things release. I'm going to bring my knees back to center. I'm going to keep rolling over till I come up. Notice how I come up very gently. And last but not least, the last oil is Inner Child. Well, actually not the last oil, but the last new oil in the kit. Inner Child, which, oh, this is such a favorite oil. And one of the main first oils in it is Melissa. So it smells so yummy. And what does Inner Child do? It connects us to our inner self, our identity, our true essence, bringing us into that playfulness that we were brought into this earth having. So I like to rub it on the bottom of my nose so that that aroma keeps wafting in under my nose, but also to the back of the neck, the heart, wherever you are guided to place Inner Child, please do. Some like it around the navel, the heart, wherever. Take it in. Oh, it's such a bright oil. It makes me smile. And we're going to do some of that. Oh. So, are you ready to be inner childlike? Back and forth, rock and roll, up and back on the spine. Ah. Inhale and exhale. Inhale back, exhale, and then come onto your back and pedal laugh. Oh, dump some dopamine of laughter. And come back up with some rock and rolls. Nice. Allow that to feel so good. Come into your seat again with that huge laughter of smile. And sit for a minute with the corners of your mouth turned up, that smile from within. Keep taking in these beautiful breaths with the aroma of Inner Child, and allow it to help you, support you, help you feel your inner essence. And if you can't help it but have a big grin on your face, that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful practice. And now, the final oil, we start and we end with valor. So again, maybe just a couple drops, you decide what you need. I have a lot of valor on me at this point. So I'm going to rub that on, and This time I'm going to take that to my LC notch. So I'm going to rub my first finger in there, and right behind my hair in this little divot there, I'm going to do clockwise circles to seal this journey we just went on. This feelings kit, this feelings collection journey. And know that this was my time to be with me and come from all the way from my confidence and courage, through my harmony, through forgiveness, forgiving myself and others, to present time, to releasing anything that needed to go, that didn't belong inside me, that didn't belong in my mind, my body, or my soul. Letting it be. And then to my inner child, finding my essence, being with me again, with that same confidence and that same courage. And now I take a Shavasana. I'm going to take this blanket that's underneath me, I'm going to unfold it just for a little pad for my head. I am going to lay out with this blanket right under my occipital ridge, letting myself get completely cozy here. Palms up to the heavens, and just feel. I may stay here for 5 minutes, 1 minute, 15 minutes, whatever you feel you need. If it's too much for you to be flat, by all means, a blanket or a bolster under your knees, or take your feet wide and let your knees come together to kiss for constructive rest. You may want your hands touching yourself, wherever it is. Please don't cross the midline. That blocks energy. Let the energy flow. Stay as long as you need. But for the sake of the video practice, I'm going to come up by taking usually my right arm over my head, rolling over onto my side, pausing for a moment. Using the hand against the earth to gently press, letting the head and neck be the last thing to come up. Coming back into a seated position. Thumbs at the sternum, fingers away. May you breathe deeply, live joyfully, and move freely. I see the light in you. You see the light in me. And we are all equal beings on this earth. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. I do the same things in my classes. It's just we pass oils in between. And know that an option during this type of practice is to rest in Shavasana or corpse pose in between each oil, so that you really take the time to feel that oil present in the body, where it is traveling, and what it is bringing up for you. Enjoy.